Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the July 9 podcast. Welcome to the very first episode. I am your host, July 9, aka Jason V. So, I want to welcome you guys to my world, my podcast. As I just said, first episode. This is a podcast where we speak on a little bit about everything, mainly things that I probably like the most. So you'll see like a lot of things about fashion and a lot of things about, you could say, pop culture or fashion culture, music culture, rap culture. I don't know. I guess you'll see as you guys start to watch, hopefully, and as we continue to air these episodes. Shout out to my man Freddy Krueger. So don't want to spend too much time speaking about what this podcast is going to be about. I'm gonna just let things happen, and hopefully you guys like what you guys see and hear. So, getting right into this, right? Let's speak about this Balenciaga stuff that's going on. So, Balenciaga had their new collection dropping for next year, for the next season. So, in the ad campaign, at first, I'm gonna speak from my point of view when I first saw it, what I first thought. When I saw the kids on the ad, I didn't really think much at first. I did think like it was kind of different, and I would say maybe odd because it's an ad campaign and you're trying to target like a certain demographic. So if you're targeting like a certain demographic, you're not like, for example, maybe what you might want to target grown adults, a certain category of grown adults, a certain demographic of adults. And you might be able to say that, being Balenciaga, maybe you want to throw in some like teens in there, some young adults, early 20s, late teens, who might be able to have like a job, maybe afford it. Excuse me. But maybe, right? But having, I would say, were they toddlers? What age are toddlers? I'm not sure, but I want to say these kids are probably like 10, the oldest, maybe 9, 8, around that age. So at first, that's what I thought. Like, this ad is kind of different. The kids are not going to be the ones that are going to be able to afford this or even let alone think about this, like think about, oh, I want to wear Balenciaga at the age of 7 or 8. So, that I did think, but I didn't think, I didn't spend too much time dwelling on it or thinking about it because I just thought it was like something different or just, excuse me again. I didn't assume it would be something so dark how it ended being, right? So it's kind of weird because I didn't even notice like the little outfits that the teddy bears had, and that was like one of the main issues too. So the kids ended up having like a backpack. The backpack was it had clothing on it, and it had bondage outfits on. So that was like the weirdest part. Like the kids holding a teddy bear that has like bondage outfits. So to make it even weirder, they had like this bag that was being advertised, and under it had like other things beneath it. So it had like other papers, and it just had like a whole bunch of stuff under it, and under like all that stuff they had like you can say like 1/4 of a letter that was like uncovered underneath all this stuff. Like everything else was covering it, but like 1/4, you could say like maybe the top right of the letter wasn't covered. So picture like a letter, regular size letter, and then like top right wasn't really covered. So you'd only be able to see or read like the endings of the first top paragraph. So, at first, the bag, I just saw the bag also. Like I didn't see the letter, because the letter was like something that you had to really like search for the details in order to see. But I forgot who was the person who had pointed it out, but at this point the whole social media has been able to point that out. But basically it was a document, some court documents about some child pornography cases, or some child pedophilia, child pornography, some crazy stuff. So it was some real dark, twisted shit. And they had it under the like all that other stuff, but you was only able to see like 1/4 of it, which was like the top right. So it was the ending sentences. So unless you were able to like know for what that meant, what that document meant, or where it came from, or like where in history it happened or whatever, like if you were familiar to that, then you'd be able to know where it comes from or what it means or whatever. So that makes it even worse. So it's just, to me, it's kind of it's weird and disgusting, because I don't understand the need for it, right? Like I don't understand the need, and not just the need, but what's the purpose? So you always get to these things about like all these rich people, all these super rich companies, like doing things for money or with money that you really can't like stop from doing whatever. Like I'm not saying stop, but it's like they be pushing these weird agendas and stuff, and in behind closed doors also, and it's just like it's like that same thing of people saying, oh, that whole Illuminati stuff and all this other stuff, all this. It's just weird. And then they want to say like they had nothing to do with that. So in my head, I'm like, how you had nothing to do with that? Like, so their thing was that they hired this company. The company was in charge of helping them with this ad campaign. So they were the one that were in charge of doing everything and whatever the case may be, and yada yada yada. And whatever. So so whatever. Let me finish. So they give him the authority to do. I guess the way they said it was like, or the way they put it is like, I guess I'm assuming they gave him the authority or the free will to just go crazy on the campaign ad and just do whatever it is that you wanted to do, right? Because that's the way they say it. And so let's say they did whatever it was that they did for the ad campaign, and so now they give it to Balenciaga. It's what I'm assuming, right? Because you give it to Balenciaga. Now after you give it to Balenciaga, what does Balenciaga do? Do they go over it? Do they look at it? Do they confirm, is this what I want? Good job, no, send it back, switch this, right? Like, the way they're saying is that they have nothing to do with it is like, it's kind of mind-boggling, because it's like, that's what it's what making me pause so much, because how are you going to say you have nothing to do with it when I'm assuming that even when you had to post it on Instagram or wherever you guys, because even let's say the company that did this ad campaign, they plastered everything all over wherever it is that they posted these posters, if they posted it outside of social media. And then what I'm assuming is when it comes to social media, then that's where Balenciaga takes over, and they're gonna post it on their page, and they're gonna do it however they want to do it, right? So if it's your page, your company, and you're running everything, how do you not know what you are posting? Because once you get it, you have to look over it, you have to see it, you have to review it, you have to do all of that. So when you post it, you can't tell me that you had nothing to do with it when you posted it. So even let's say if they did everything with the design and they send it to you guys, the ad campaigns, and that was left to you guys to just upload it, and you guys upload it after you guys already saw it, you guys have to take blame also for that. Unless you guys just gave them the whole account information, password and everything, and made them like an account admin, and now they're just able to just post whatever without like the executives at Balenciaga knowing whenever they're doing it, and just here, post it, boom, without consent, without letting them know. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Because they're suing the company for $25 million. They're suing the company for $25 million and just suing them for the child pornography documents for being in the ad and stuff. So it's like weird as shit, because you're suing them like for what exactly? For putting the child pornography documents? Okay, but you guys still posted them. And you guys also had these kids with teddy bears with bondage outfits on, which is ridiculous. Excuse me. And then my thing is, like, everybody gets so crazy for like this whole Kanye stuff and all this stuff, right? And I'm not saying like I'm on his side, but my thing is like I kind of agree with some of the things that he's saying like lately with the whole you guys just like forget about canceling him, but what Balenciaga did, that shit is crazy. Like, even if they had nothing to do with it, you guys still uploaded it. You guys still posted it. Shit is crazy. So it's like, and then you still have like celebrities that still wearing the stuff. And then on top of that, you still have like these kids wearing the clothing. Like, yo, bro, like they're wearing the clothing. And it's just, it makes it even darker and crazier and twisted, because it's like, sheesh, like, I guess if I saw like a grown adult wearing it, okay, but like to see the whole kid thing with the bondage outfits and the teddy bears, and then to have like to see the kids, like even the celebrity kids, because those are the ones that I'm majority see, wearing the Balenciaga clothing still, and the celebrity parents just just condoning it in a way. It's just crazy. Like Kim Kardashian was just like, I think one of the main ones that I think probably the only one that I know that just started to speak out on that, on whatever went down with Balenciaga. And that's kind of major to for her to be like, you know, I hope other companies start, I mean, not other companies, but also, you know, companies like Supreme, who supposedly had like a collaboration with them coming up. I hope they get, you know, they take that into mind. And when it comes to like dropping this next thing with them, this next project, then, you know, like consider what they're gonna do with them, because that's crazy. And that's crazy too, because the crazy thing about it is that Balenciaga is probably like, not probably, but I would say they were like my favorite fashion house. My favorite one. For the simple fact that they're like, their roots and the person who created this whole thing was from Spain. If you go to Third Education, shout out to Third Education, they have the history of Balenciaga on there, and it speaks about that. So that was like, you know, one of my main reasons for it, you know, and also because like I believe Oscar de la Renta was a designer who started um, as a young apprentice with Balenciaga, and he's Dominican, so that was like one of my main reasons why I loved it so much. So to see this going on, it's like that's kind of overwhelming and uncomfortable to watch. So it's just wicked, man. So yeah, the actual name of the company. Let me just put that out there real quick. So the name of the company is, sheesh. Where did it go? Okay, so the name of the company is North Six. That's the name of the company that was. I'm not even gonna say allegedly because it's an actual fact. They're suing them for $25 million for allegedly not letting them know that they had that child pornography document, whatever, under like in their ad, which is freaking crazy. Like, imagine just you being a top fashion house like Balenciaga and just advertising something like that. That's weird. And then the guy who's like the owner, who was like solely in charge of that project, his name is Des Jardins. So Des Jardins from North Six, he's the guy in the company who I guess are for blame, and I put quotation marks because it's like Balenciaga, you didn't know. But moving on to other things, which kind of include Balenci in a way, because it's our boy Kanye. And funny fact, Kanye, I was in the music video design of Panda with Designer and starring also Kanye West. Outside of those two main people, I was like the actor with the most screen time, which was like 2 seconds. Like when you see the video, if you guys ever see it, you'll see how crazy like the whole video goes and how they pan only on him. The whole camera is just on him, focus on him. Everybody else gets like 2 milliseconds of time. I get like a second or two. But it's kind of crazy too because they kind of zoom in at my face from far. So had a few people recognize me. But yeah, Kanye West Kanye West has decided to he's going to release the I guess you would say the unreleased merch, or like the one-on-ones that they gave him for Balenciaga and Adidas, like exclusively to him, or like pre-drops or things like that. And he's going to resell. He's going to sell them, not resell them because he didn't buy them, but he's going to sell them for $20 pop, for $20 a pop, and he's going to put Ye 24 on them. He's going to put Ye 24 on them. And he's gonna sell them each for $20. His claim is that he believes that everybody should be able to afford the same thing and the same stuff, and yada 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 yada, all that stuff. And shout out to my neighbors who decided to move things at this time. Hee hee hoo hoo. But yeah, that boy Kanye, shout out to him for doing that. I thought that was kind of dope. I guess he's trying to mess with them while they're fucking with him. So that's pretty cool on that part. It's gonna be hard to get hands on that, but whoever does, shout out to you. If you want to send me a something, feel free. And also Yeezy, man, Kanye, bro, yay, the yay man. Allegedly, our boy went around his Yeezy office and also allegedly the Adidas office and started showing employees explicit videos of Kim Kardashian, and I believe him himself also. So that's another one. And allegedly he also tells one of his sneaker designers, she's a female, who worked at Adidas also, and he asked her to make him a shoe that he can fuck. That's wicked. Imagine being told by Kanye to make a shoe that he can fuck. Like, how would you even make the shoe? Like, thinking about it, how would you make a shoe that you can that somebody can fuck? Like, I mean, because now you could just, Kanye, if you really have that fetish, just throw the penis in there, and then the socket in the hole, call it a day. Why make a whole shoe that you can actually, this dude is just still officiating, man. He's aficionado. I'm not sure even if I'm saying it right. I'm fucking high as fuck. Almost got the itis because I just finished eating not so long ago. But my son is just still not over Kim. Kim has messed up our boy. And it's sad, man. But yeah, that's one thing that our boy Kanye did. Which I wish, allegedly, I just wish if it happened, I wish it never happened. Because it just makes his case even worse, like, he's already, like, going through it on social media and stuff. I guess you can, people, or he has said himself that that was his plan, to get dropped. But now Adidas is trying to sue him for, like, $200 million and some change, and trying to sell his sneakers without his name on it. These Germans, man. But anywho, Raf Simons. Raf Simons' label, he's going to shut that shit down. He's shutting it down. I'm not sure why. I don't know why exactly. He's shutting it down, and I don't know if it's for good. I don't know if it's gonna be for a meanwhile, for a long run. I'm not too sure. But I would say that I was super surprised to hear that. Because you normally don't see that. Like a real famous clothing label to just shut down like that. And I would say successful, because I don't ever remember, like, Raf Simons have, like, an issue with, like, his clothing and stuff like that. Like, he's been normally, like, pretty lit and famous and pretty relevant ever since his debut in the fashion scene. So, yeah. What I am surprised about is that I believe supposedly he had said some negative things about my boy Virgil's designs, RP Virg. Supposedly he said a few negative things about it. I'm not sure, allegedly. I'll say that. But I did see a few places and a few people, a few sources say that. But yeah, shout out to that boy Raf Simons. He's legendary. He's legendary. I believe he's also, like, a main reason on why Bottega Veneta is so known like it is today. If I'm not mistaken, he was the one that decided to debut that green, that very vibrant green that people kind of relate to Bottega now. Because Bottega doesn't even have a logo. Bottega doesn't even have, like, a design pattern, like, nothing that you can say, oh, that's Bottega. That's just how they wanted it to be, and that's how it's supposed to be. But now I think to him, and his time spent there, he kind of revived them to, like, a newer crowd because of the decision to wear that, to display that green on few of the pieces. But yeah, Raf is shutting down his Raf Simons label, and Not sure why. I'm surprised. I'm kind of interested in seeing where he's gonna go, where he's gonna go next with that. If he's gonna, you know, if he's gonna keep it closed, if he's gonna open it up again. So I guess anybody who owns any Raf Simons clothing right now is probably holding on to something pretty valuable, especially if he closes it and he never opens it again. So that would be like some real cool timepieces to own, because you'll probably never get these things again, you know? So yeah, that's that. And also Alessandro Michel, probably saying his name wrong. Alessandro Michel or Michel. Pretty sure that's like a Spanish name. If not, well, I don't. Is it? Can you say Italian? Alessandro. I don't know. But it sounds very Spanish to me, Alessandro Michel. But he was like creative director at Gucci. He decided to step down. And yeah, he decided to step down for being the creative director at Gucci. So I'm interested in knowing where he's going next, and I'm interested in knowing who are they bringing in to replace him. Also interested in knowing and to see when is gonna be the time that Louis decides to announce who they are going to replace Virgil with. Which in a way I'm not kind of looking forward to that. Like I am and I'm not, because I want to know who. It's going to be like a big time for the person who ends up taking over. So I know it's gonna happen. So I'm just like eager to for the time to come. But then at the same time, I'm cool with it not happening and just let his design just keep on coming out, and maybe have somebody from the camp, from the Louis Vuitton designing team that was with Verge, that was probably like the closest to getting his style right, and maybe giving him the opportunity to maybe, get their shine on, and blend in their thing with what they learned from Verge. And I in a way I don't that's like a bad idea, because it's like a homegrown talent that you're bringing. It's like you groomed them, you had them in your farm system, you had him there. He was like maybe one of the greatest designers ever, and he learned from him for a while, or she, whoever, and just see what it do, and I think that could be like a good idea for Louis, but let's see what happens. But yeah, Gucci, Alessandro Michel, como sea que tú te llames. He stepped down. Let's see who Gucci brings in. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings an end to the first episode of the July 9 podcast. I hope you guys had a great time. I had a great time. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was super nervous before starting this, and mind you, like I do another podcast also, so like I'm used to this, but to now like do my own thing by myself, it's but yeah, thank you for having me. Thanks to anybody who watches, likes, comments, subscribes. Appreciate all of you guys, and peace. Have a good night. Have a good day. Enjoy your day, your evening, your night. Adios.